What's up, people? What's up, people? Welcome to Stuff We Like, Gentleman Dog Portrait Post Show. We like stuff.
We do.
We do like stuff.
So something I like is my phone.
Yeah, no. I like my phone too. I like my phone.
You know, it's not just a phone; it's a compass, weather.
I don't think we have to sell phones to people. That's what.
It's so many.
Let's not do that.
It's so many things, but
Well, what kind of phone do you have?
I have an iPhone 5C.
I have a Droid Razr Max, and I gotta say, I gotta upgrade my phone. Seriously,
Yeah.
I bought my phone specifically because of its long battery life. Like, apparently, it can last 2 days. I've had it for 3 years. It can barely get through 12 hours now.
3 years is a while.
3 years is a while, so it's like that's normal wear and tear. So now I gotta like find something different with that explicit purpose.
Yeah, you can't replace the battery.
If I did, I'd probably have to like crack it open or something.
Oh,
but it also like overheats like a motherfucker. I swear to God. So like whenever I'm running an app on my phone, I downloaded an app last night that it's like a music based game. Okay. You download a track, people already made like maps to it, and then you just kind of like play along with it. Mm-hmm. And I played one song, and it was like melting in my hand. I usually do this thing, like when I know it's overheating, I just kind of like take the screen and press it against my skin. It's like, I could burn myself with this.
My phone will get warm, but if I'm doing like a million things, it might get like a little hot, but not that hot.
Well, I think iPhones don't. Apple products aren't supposed to heat up. That's what I think.
I'll tell you though, my brother had a phone for I think 2 or 3 years, and then it was like he was getting to he couldn't make it through the day. Like he would have to have it fully charged when he left in the morning, and then before he got home, it would be like dead.
That's what my phone is doing now. I unplug my phone when I wake up.
Right.
I take it with me, and I get benchmarks during the day where it's like, okay, if I get to where I'm working and it's like it slips below 90, it's going to die before I reach home. And like when I leave work and I'm going on the trains, it's like, okay, it's at 30. It's probably going to make it. And like that's 2 hours.
Then you see those people who are like plugging their phones into weird outlets, places, like sitting on the ground, like trying to siphon electricity.
But the phone bums.
But yeah, phone bums, man.
But you got a type of person with a phone that you. I wanted to originally do like what's your favorite app on your phone, and I already had one picked out. But you told me something that I need to need to rant about.
I gotta tell you, I just wanted to say though, my brother, so he sent his phone in, and they put a new battery in and sent it back, and he's got a new battery in his phone.
Congratulations!
Going strong with his
There
phone.
was something else.
So,
less about my crappy battery.
Yeah. I'm just saying, maybe you could get it replaced if you don't want to.
Maybe. No, I could look into that, but I probably just want a shiny new phone. You probably want to
find a new phone.
Yeah, just after 3 years, the phone case has started to crack, and I've had this from the beginning too. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I think that's symbolic enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was going to tell you that, so there are people...
They walk among us.
And we talk to them on our phones. Your friends, you talk to them, you text them. And have you ever known somebody, this is what I really want to talk about, have you ever known somebody who, I'm sure when you first initiated contact with them, they're texting with you with their phone, but now something happened where you can't call them or text them because they stopped with their contract or aren't paying their bill or whatever, and now they're not, their phone is not in service, their cell phone, but they can still connect to Wi-Fi and do stuff with the phone like it's a little computer, and they can use Skype or Kik or whatever, WhatsApp or whatever those apps are that
right.
people use.
The ones that
There's
are
like a billion of them.
The ones that people tell you, oh, it's like you can still text with your phone, but you use the Wi-Fi instead of your data or your minutes. And it's like, okay, all right. There's already a couple of these. It's basically AIM all over.
There's like 50 of them. Yeah, it's like there's 50 different aims, and like everybody decides to use it on a separate one. So for me to be in contact with this person, I need to have this app, and for me to be in contact with that person, I need to have that app.
And there's no central one.
And it's just, and then when I'm out, if I want to maintain contact with any of these people, like if I'm gonna text somebody during the day while I'm at work or something, I need to have that app running.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's another person, then it's like I need to have these two apps running. I need to have Skype running and this.
Well, I don't get Wi-Fi at work, so I would have to be using my data.
Yeah,
and like I only get 2 gigabytes a month.
It's
which
different.
Sounds like a lot if you've never really considered how much internet you use. But
Right.
now it's gotten to a point where like I hit my limit a few days ago, and I like bumped it up a little bit because I like arbitrarily set it lower. So now it's like I'm conscious of the 100 megabytes that I have left for the next week. Like, okay, all right, this is getting a little crazy.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty conservative. I don't usually watch like videos or stuff like when I'm out roaming around.
Yeah, I use Kick.
Yeah.
Mainly because there are people that I like to talk to, but I don't want them to have my number.
Right.
Like it's
That sounds wholesome.
Well, no, it's like, well, if you're already talking to them, you're already fulfilling the purpose that you wanted to use them for.
Meth
you
dealers.
just wanted to talk.
Yeah.
Well, meth dealers too, but it's mostly like a hookup thing. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't use it for that, but whatever. I used Viber.
Yeah.
When I went abroad, they were like, "Oh, there's a way that we can text each other by using Wi-Fi, and it's called Viber." I'm like, that sounds familiar, but okay.
What's crazy about it too is like there's.
But you can call using Viber, so that's the difference.
Yeah, certain ones like Skype, I can video chat with you. Google, I can video chat, like Google Hangouts. But and like some of them you can like you have different capabilities. Like you can take a picture, send a picture usually. But I just feel like there should just be like 1 or 2 major, really good ones, and like all these other ones should like die out. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's not really a problem with Tinder. You know what I mean? Like Tinder was like based off of Grindr,
Right.
which Grindr was basically for gay hookups.
Right.
So Tinder became like the mainstream one for every hookup, because Grindr just had the one. Grindr was just known as the gay one, I think.
I feel like now so many girls are on Tinder that aren't, like my attitude towards Tinder is like it's a game that I can play when I'm bored, and like
Yep.
I never really pursue people that like match with me on there.
Though I have
But
used it.
I use
used it
OkCupid
and deleted
for
it,
dating.
used it and I deleted it.
Yeah.
The first time that I ever downloaded it and knew about it was a friend told me about it. Just like, oh, if we see each other on Tinder, like, oh my god, it'll be like awkward and funny.
I
We'll just talk
always
with each
worry
other,
about
like,
that, seeing like a relative or a
Oh,
friend
yeah.
on Tinder.
I've seen friends on Tinder.
Really?
I've seen friends on Tinder, and I immediately, what is it, left swipe? What's the one where you reject them?
Yeah, I laugh.
Because like I don't want to have that conversation. Because I don't use it for dating. I don't use it for hookups. I'm just like, okay, well, now there's someone that likes me.
See, I feel like okay, like
It's an ego boost.
I use OkCupid for dating and for meeting girls that like I want to pursue hanging out with and doing like a lot of things with, but I feel like Tinder should be for if you want to meet somebody for like a casual hookup, and I don't think it is anymore. I mean, I'm sure that some people use it for that, but I feel like there's so many girls on there who have profiles that like
Genuinely say like
it's like a paragraph about their life and how they
want a
they're
relationship,
family oriented,
and that is you're
and
finding
it's like you're ruining Tinder right now. Like, why are you here? Like,
yeah. Well, if anyone like hooks up with them, they're in for the surprise of their life the next morning.
You're in an app where
People are hooking
you
up.
swipe left or right based on a photo alone.
On appearance, it's the most shallow thing.
so like that's what like. If you're gonna want to go on a thing and go on an app and match with someone based on that you both think the other person is hot, like you shouldn't
not doing
be
a relationship
expecting to get a relationship out of that.
But then again, that's how classic relationships started. You know what I mean? Like, I met my wife in this bar, and like the first thing you thought about them was they look attractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. And then you got to talking. Which, I guess, Tinder is kind of like the virtual version of that. Like, you're all in this one crappy bar, and you're all just looking at each other.
I think the difference is that a girl is usually going to look for that more... Like, if a guy is horny, he's going to just look for, like, who's going to, like, meet me. You know what I mean? And, like, hook up with me. And now,
we
right now, you know, and like not always. Girls are usually not looking for that, I guess, as often. I don't know, or they don't use dating websites for that.
No, they don't. Well, if there's plenty of dating websites out there, like if you want something sustainable that you actually want to like go ahead with. I don't know which ones are the good or bad ones because I don't actually use them. Like I'll admit to using Tinder and then use it for the wrong purpose. Like, but I will not admit to using a dating site because I don't.
Yeah. Okay, Cupid, like I've been on it for so long, and I had so many different experiences with it. I don't know, it's fun. Like
I want to meet someone.
I'm kind of over like dating is like not a nervous, crazy thing for me anymore. I guess.
You've gotten numb to the experience.
Well, I'm not like worried about it anymore or something. Like maybe I was when I was younger.
I want to meet a couple that met up and got married on Christian Mingle. I want to know what kind of people are on that website.
I'm sure there's nice people on there.
I'm sure there are, but I want to know if it's like genuinely nice, Mormon nice, or Stepford nice.
Probably there's all different. I
think... like genuinely nice is like, okay, these are cool people, you can get a beer with them. Mormon nice is like they are like clean and prim and proper, and they're smiling at every moment, and they're like really happy but uncomfortable to be around. And then there's Stepford nice, which is like, okay, something's off here. Something is immediately off. You can sense it in the air. Get out.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that are very sterile with their personalities and like, you know, they're trying to be like the most correct moral version of themselves that they can be, and so they're repressing a lot of things. But I don't know. I mean, I think that on OkCupid, when I see somebody who has like a religious, like they mention it off in their profile, and it's like
if they mention it like, more than once, then you know that they are actually religious outside of the what is it, spiritual or religion.
It's just field. Like this is like it's not like it's usually not bad. It's just like, okay, this is something that you take really seriously, and like as a result, it kind of implies that like these are things that I enjoy that you're not going to appreciate, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's just like you're not going to be as fun for me, and we're not going to be as fun for each other as someone else might be. So
I guess. Well, maybe there's like a way to filter it out. Because there are some people who are like, okay, well, I'm this, I'm being honest about it, and you know kind of what to expect, but I don't really care. And then there's the ones that are like really, really, really into it. Like, this is the first thing that you will know about me.
Yeah, it probably depends on like how hot the girl is. Like if she's really hot, you're probably gonna want to. It's probably gonna end, you're probably gonna like make excuses for yourself. No, I mean everybody would. If somebody's more attractive, they'll get away with more, and you'll tolerate more probably.
That's
like they could be a little crazy or a little like weird, but they're hot, so like. You'll put up with something, but maybe in the long term it'll fall apart because it's really not, working for you.
Well, you'll learn this. You'll learn this when you're in the dating scene or you're just kind of like observing. There are people that are built for short relationships, and there are people that are built for long ones.
Okay.
And you see the ones that are like, okay, they should have broken up a while ago. Neither of them are happy, but they look good. They look good.
Well.
Or they're like people who are built for long-term relationships, and they're clearly with someone that is just kind of like looking to get out. You know what I mean? But they found stability or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in relationships I feel that are not really happy, but I don't think it has to do with how they look necessarily. I think it's just like you get into a relationship and just like you get a job or you get a place to live, and you kind of tend to stay there. Like people don't move from Florida to California to Colorado to New York usually. They usually
you got a point.
Kind of stay. Maybe you move to the next town over, or like, but you usually stick around.
You stay in the area, yeah.
Yeah, and like you get a job, but you don't become a waiter, and then the next day become like a sword swallower, and bounce around
there's a natural progression, and if there's something drastic, there's usually someone or something.
Yeah, you stay close to home, and you stay with what's comfortable and what you know, and that
unless
person,
you have like no real regard for what happens in the future. You know what I mean? Like, I'm moving to California. Like,
I mean,
why?
Moves are possible. Things are, but just like breaking up is possible. But people tend to stay in a relationship because it's, not just because it's something that maybe they don't like it, but they know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, there is that. There's that. Well, I think that happens with a lot of couples, and like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong about like just being comfortable with each other, as long as you still are like willing to work on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't want to be you don't want to feel like you're just trapped there or something because, and I think it's easy.
If you feel trapped in a relationship, you got other issues.
But I think it's easy to start being so comfortable with somebody that you stop like regarding how you're making them feel or whatever. You stop paying attention to how you're making them feel, and you just kind of you can be more callous with them maybe. Like my brother, like I can say some stuff to him that I'd never just say to like an acquaintance, or a friend. Right. I could catch an attitude with him.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, I know my fiance. I know her. Like right. I could simulate her.
Yeah.
Being here to like maybe 95% accuracy. But sometimes she does surprise me, so there is that.
Yeah.
But if I can like imagine her here, then I know what to expect. I know what to expect. And I still like it. It's like, right. If you know what to expect and you don't like it, then get out.
Yeah.
So what dating?
Or work on changing.
So you use OkCupid. What else do you use?
I have Tinder, OkCupid. That's really it. I don't.
You don't use the uncomfortable spokesman of eHarmony.
No, I don't use eHarmony.
14 is one of them eHarmony. Clearly not. You creepy douche.
I do not pay to meet other people.
Yeah, there is that. Why would?
They make an argument that they're providing a service which is beyond like. A network, it's not. They're saying it's not just that we're putting you. It's not just saying everybody who is interested in dating should join the site, and you can fill out these demographic questions. These questions about your height and your preferences, and like you can. It's like we have this matching algorithm, and it's super advanced, and like that's what you're paying for me to match you with somebody that you're gonna marry and fall in love with, like. Yeah. So they're selling like the idea of like a husband or a real significant other that. Because of science and technology,
I have yet to meet a person or a married couple that met someone on eHarmony.
Oh, I think it's also for people that are a little older.
Yeah, there might be that. It might be like when you're 30 years old. Then
like OkCupid is much more of like a 20s thing.
Yeah, I know
for more casual dating.
There are other. What's the word I'm looking for? Impressions? Labels? That some dating sites have. I know Plenty of Fish is known as, like, Plenty of Fat Chicks. I remember hearing that from one person. That stuck with me.
I checked that site
I don't know if I even agree with it, because, of course, I don't use one.
I could just say, I don't know about that at all, really, but what I know is...
What do people say about Zeusk? That's kind of a weird one.
I have no idea. I've seen
First
the commercials.
Comes hi. Or first comes nice to meet you. Like, first comes like. That's the tagline of it. I don't know what to make of that. I just know it's a very stupid name.
Plenty of Fish to me is like, I feel like the girls there are just like lower caliber than on OkCupid. Maybe. In general. Like, I don't think that they're all fat or something, but...
Well, thank you for your candor.
Just their like...
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, like... I don't think that there's like a significant. I don't think the Plenty of Fish has a significantly larger amount of fat girls than like OkCupid or something. Like I feel like it's they're kind of the same dating sites, but
okay, you don't have to defend it or anything.
No. I mean, OkCupid, like the girls are just a little smarter, just a little like more together with their lives, a little classier than Plenty of Fish. So I mean, that's what I felt. That's what I feel. Yeah. Huh. I think so. There's always that I could go on Plenty of Fish, and I would never get anything done because all I do is take pictures from people's profiles that are hilariously bad and just send them to my friend. And that's all that site became for me, so I got rid of it. Because, like, I can't, just making fun of people all day. It's not what I came here to do.
Oh, God!
Like, you took a
terrible.
selfie, and your grandma is snoring in the background with her mouth open, and, like, in your
God.
weird living room.
Really?
Or, like, just, like, weird. Like, why would you put this picture on your dating profile?
I think the worst thing that I've seen was there was a selfie someone took, and there was, like, a turd in the toilet.
Oh, that's gross.
Deliberately put the toilet behind them. I don't think realized that the turd was still in there. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's just I kind of, I guess, go, but like I look at some people's photos on OkCupid. It's like you picked like the one photo out of like 1,000 where you look like amazing, and like this is not really indicative of like what you're like at all. Compared, because I can see, because you have another picture, and you're just kind of like, this is probably how you really look. But then, Plenty of Fish, it would be like, you should probably like gussy it up a little bit, just like polish it, like maybe take a shower before you take a picture for your profile. Or
oh wow,
this week I don't know.
What other sites are there's Match.com?
Yeah, it's like another.
What's that known as?
I don't know.
Because I think that's
30s dating site.
I think that's also like the major competitor with eHarmony.
Yeah, eHarmony and Match are more like, I would say 30 plus and more looking at a serious commitment, and less being like, I'm 22 years old and I want to mess around and like, it's really weird how Tinder it's really become mainstream. Yeah.
Holy crap! Like I actually saw a Frank's Red Hot, and that was a hot sauce commercial.
Oh yeah.
And that like featured Tinder on that. Like, how are you getting so many matches? I'm like, oh my God, really?
It's a pretty widespread thing, very popular app. But my feeling is that it's become like, in becoming so popular, it's softened from like a hookup thing to a like a dating thing now, and maybe it's just gonna end up being like a weird.
I think it's gonna fizzle out.
I
think the Tinder flame is gonna be extinguished.
Well, I think what we need, I think at some point people are gonna look back and be like, remember Tinder? Remember when being on Tinder and swiping? Like, do you remember 2015 swiping on Tinder back in 20 years ago? Ugh. It'll be like, remember AIM?
Well, because I already don't
remember instant messaging your friends.
Because I really don't think
school?
Anyone over 30 uses Tinder.
That's the impression. I don't know. I think so.
No, that's the impression that I get.
It's less people, but
certainly less.
I think that there needs to be like a new Tinder it's like when the cool thing becomes so big that it's not cool anymore. I think like you need to have the new edgy like site where it's clear that like this site is only for like meeting strangers.
Yes.
Well, or something like crazy like that.
I will facepalm so hard if the thing that becomes Tinder basically advertises itself as, it's like Tinder but for hookups. Like, when did it go to the wayside?
But it did. So I mean,
that's why I think there should be two. There should be one that's just like, if you're using this one, you know you're here for hookups. If you're using this one, you just want to meet people.
They should explicitly state like, this is for so that when girls are on it and make profiles for
put like different color flames,
I'm looking
just kind of like
married.
If it's blue, then you're looking just to meet with someone, just to like hang out. If it's pink, you're looking for love, and if it's red, you're doing the hookups. And like the red is the default one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or orange.
Every girl would change just to pink. Every dudes would be like, every guy would be just like. Total...
Well, then at least it would be honest.
And it would just be like full of guys. And like...
At least you're not trying to fucking get a boyfriend on a hookup site.
The internet's crazy like that. I don't. You know what I do on OkCupid now?
What do you do?
I don't message girls. Well, I guess I can't say that. It's not like a rule, but
you know that thing where you meet people to talk to. I don't talk to them.
I just go.
I only use 30% of the site.
I just go to the meetups and stare. No. 4
o'clock, this cafe. I'll be watching you. It'll be like a voyeur experiment.
What it is I find that most situations the girl's expecting you to initiate the conversation online, to set up the date, and within a few messages, you should do that. And I've done that, and it's not like it's been bad, but I just feel like I'll have to do less work if I wait for a girl to message me, because she'll girls don't usually message you as often as guys would message girls. Girls don't message guys. So when girls do message me, I feel like they're significantly interested in me, and I won't. It's not like I have to.
No, it's a good thought experiment.
So I can check that. Like, I won't always reply, but I'll just check them out and be like, okay,
I don't know.
This person probably likes me a decent amount.
It's a weird waiting game experiment. It is.
But I'm not in a rush to do anything,
I've been in that. I've been in that position, so it's like, okay. I basically got browbeaten to the point where it's like, well, I know they're not going to say something first. I may as well make myself be known.
I mean, it depends how patient you are. It's not like it happens to me. It's not like I get messages from girls every day.
But keep in mind, this was like during a time where it was like high school, so it was like, I don't have anything better to do with my life.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I'm going to watch TV.
Yeah. I think I just have been disappointed a bunch of times with like the person and how we're not really right for each other, and so.
Well, you learn that out later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you learn that out after discussion.
So I'm just like ready to. I'm just like, I don't really want to like put in the effort and meet like 20 people and decide that one of them is like kind of okay. Like,
yeah, that I think you're kind of overreaching.
So
then you're thinking too much of yourself. Like, oh my god, I got 20 people to choose from. You think you're like on Flavor of Love.
It's not like I'm like the great person for any of them either. It's just like maybe we're not really made for each other a bunch of times. That's a pain in the neck. I don't know. I'd rather have somebody who's already like kind of.
Well, we've certainly come a long way from the random chat rooms, IRC. That wasn't even fucking when I was like in middle school and shit. The way that I met people that I would like just talk to was it was on a Shockwave game.
Oh yeah,
it was Inklink.
It had like its own little chat in it.
No, well, the thing of it was people would go there, they would play the game, but there would also it would be a room with you and like 7 other people, and the first thing you would say to like in the public chat where also you would guess answers is ASL.
Yeah,
that's the first thing you would say, like, hey, and then you would like whisper to people, and that would be like the private way of messaging.
Yeah,
and then that's how I met people that I would just like talk to on the internet. I met people from supposedly, and this was also like during the time when people were very like, oh my god, you have no idea who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You have no idea who's on the other end. But it was like,
as
in my mind, I met people from Nevada, Nebraska, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay, well, now I just kind of take it at face value. And now, since we play Kingdom of Loathing, I've met people from... There's one girl from South Africa who's in Japan right now.
Mm-hmm.
And...
That's true.
Yeah. Like, I don't need to know what these people look like. Some has been like, okay, I've been talking with you for like years now.
You don't have a photo. It's kind of strange.
Come on here. Yeah, but like this one person from Japan, she actually sent like an article that was written in Afrikaans because she's from South Africa about her in a Lord of the Rings theme party. I'm like, that's you? Oh wow. Oh okay. I mean, it was like grainy a bit, but I was like, oh okay, well, all right. So, like, I think I'd like to think we've moved past that whole you have no idea who's on the other line. I don't think catfishing is that big anymore, is it?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's still enough for people to make a show out of.
Yeah,
if I'm meeting someone on the internet and like they send me a picture, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, what if they're like this 40-year-old balding guy? Like,
Yeah, I doubt it's usually it's such a drastic thing, but I think people do it, and they do it not to hurt you or like humiliate you. They do it because they're
genuinely afraid with themselves. Like they're the ones that are self-conscious enough to do it.
Like I'm not good enough, but so I can be this other person that's better, than me.
Maybe I'm
you'll
just too
accept
trusting.
that. Like, you wouldn't accept me, but you'll accept my like online persona that I've pretended is real. And that you believe is real.
But it's like where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, if you've lied about what you look like, there's got to be other things that you lied about. Like, you might be a genuinely charming person who likes horseback riding, but what if you also have a meth lab? Like, you didn't tell me that. And then there's the girl that's running away, and the guy's like, but I do like riding horses, I just also have a meth lab. I just didn't tell you that because you'd freak out like you're doing now.
Yeah. It could be anything. You could be hiding a lot of things, but I mean, usually it's real. It depends what it is. Like, I know with...
Depends on how much you're, like, willing to lie. You know what I mean? Like, if this is like a dating site and you're, like, afraid of dying alone, I think if you have some stuff to hide, you'll lie about it. Mm-hmm. Or if you really don't care that much about your general opinion. I think the people that lie first and foremost, like, they don't know how to improve themselves first. They're like, they'll take me as I am. And that's not true. You have to improve yourself.
It's just very doable and easy, and it depends. Like, if I'm gonna pretend that I'm some, like, girl, right, to get, like, attention or to get somebody to buy me stuff off my Amazon wish list or whatever, you know, and there's guys that do that all the time.
There are.
So, like, the thing is that, like, well, who would fall for something like that? You might say I wouldn't, and, like, I don't just send money to people on the internet. But the thing is, the internet's a big place, my friend.
There are people that do, especially if, like, you're well known in any community for that.
It's like being a street musician in Manhattan. Not everybody's gonna throw change, but enough people do that, like, you can make a living.
Oh, that's definitely how I feel about. Like, so, no joke, there have been homeless men and women grifting in the same areas and trains since I started working there last June, and I still see them to this day.
Yeah, they make a significant amount more than
they make enough where they
minimum wage.
Yeah, well, they certainly make enough where they don't have to move. They don't have to say that if you were homeless and you started begging, and after like a few days you only got like enough to buy you one piece of food, you'd probably say, "All right, this isn't working. I either need to go somewhere else or I need to actually get a job." But these people found the right places and they just stay there.
Yeah, I've seen some when I worked in the Bronx, there was this woman and she was definitely on like drugs. Like, she was definitely a crack addict, and she would panhandle at the stoplights, you know, the light would turn red, the cars would pile up, and she'd walk along and, like, get money. And then she'd be gone for a while, then she'd be back, and she was pregnant and, like, still using crack. It was just horrible. Like, like, she had a real... Like, she was just looking to get money so she could go use again, basically.
Yeah. No,
But a lot of these people in the city, man, they're not like that. This is, like, their...
This is their job.
Business, yeah.
This is basically their job. There's this woman that begs on one of the subway trains that I go on, and her angle, they always have to have like an angle. It's either like I became deaf after this accident, or I lost my home after this happened. But this woman's angle is she has a cane, she has a couple of like leg braces,
yeah,
and she said she has multiple sclerosis.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these days I'm going to look up the time frame for people that have multiple sclerosis. Especially, I'm pretty sure she's not getting any medical care for it at all.
That's a very...
Because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have more than one cane. People that have MS, that at least are like popular in pop culture, like they have the two canes.
I mean, my neighbor has it, and he doesn't have any. He just walks. But it's like I think it can be very different.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get too much satisfaction out of proving a homeless person wrong anyway.
Yeah.
So...
I've seen a guy with my mom one time who was begging on the train with crutches, and then he got off at whatever stop and just, like, you know, ran up the stairs with his crutches under his arm, you know, to go home. So, but now I'm not seeing really panhandlers as much as I'm seeing guys selling stuff on the train, or musicians on the train.
Oh yeah, well you're
like candy
at a
bars.
different time. If there's one thing that I want New York to be known for, if there's one thing that I want to change, if it's especially during rush hour, I want people to become incredibly hostile towards people who beg. on rush hour. Like, it's 8 o'clock, it's like 8:30 in the morning, you're rushing to get your job. The last thing that you want to hear is, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for disturbing your morning. Like, no, you're not! Stop it! But it always happens when I'm coming home anyway, so it's like, I just want to go home. Don't do this.
Yeah, I never give
I'm sure most people are just like, don't do this, please. I'm ignoring you as hard as I can.
If no one gave them money, they wouldn't do it.
But they get enough. They always do.
Yeah, I never
like
give money.
You take this train every day. Why are you giving him a quarter?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. That's me being cynical, and this is me after like working with homeless people. Like there are the ones that like want to make themselves better, and then there are the ones that just want to rely on the goodness of people. I'm like, I don't want to feed into that.
I just feel like there's no benefit to giving somebody money who's just asking for it for nothing.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Like, I didn't get the money for nothing, so I'm not going to give it to you for nothing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's that's social justice theory right there.
I went and worked and like
maybe being hostile isn't like the best choice of words, but I certainly don't want it to be like this is like quiet protest, but it's basically accepting it. Basically accepting this is a thing that happened. I don't know. Like I thought people would be meaner, but they're not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. Okay, so I guess that's good enough.
Okay.
You good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. This is why we do this.
Yes.
To feel good. Alright, I guess that's it for this week. We'll see you next week then.
See you guys next week.
Shaw.
Cha-cha.